Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about how to store data in your Firebase Realtime Database. So let's get started. So first of all, if you're not familiar with Firebase, all you have to do is go to console.firebase.google.com, sign up with your Google account, and you're ready to go. We're going to add a new project, so click that icon that says add project. Name your project, test for example. We don't need analytics here, so create project. Hit continue. So obviously we're going to use Firebase for a web app, so we're going to click that icon, web, that says web, and we're going to name the app test. We're not going to check that because we're not going to use the Firebase hosting, maybe in future videos. So register app. We're going to get back to that code later because we're going to need it. So continue to console. So now we need to go to real-time database section and click create database. We're going to start with test mode, enable. And we have our real-time database set up now. Now we're gonna create a simple example. We're gonna cd desktop and we're gonna create a folder and cd to Firebase folder and code. I'm going to create an index.html. So now we need to go to project settings and go down here. We're going to grab that code, that script. Paste it right here. So this is the Firebase configuration, like for our project, and also we need to import the Firebase app, and also we need to import the Firebase database. So just change that app with database. And now we are ready to start. So I'm going to create an input, give it an ID. Okay, sorry, give it an ID of email, for example, and a send button. Send. And we're going to give it an ID of send. Now if we open that up with Chrome, as you can see, we have an input and the send button. So the user is going to put his email in that input and click the send button. By clicking the send button, we're going to send that email or that data to the Firebase real-time database. So first we need an event listener for the button. So send. There's no suggestions here. click, and we need a function. So when the user clicks the send button, we're going to grab the input and fire it to the database. So I'm going to create a constant called email. The ID is email. So we're going to get the value of the input. Value. We're going to get the value. Now send it to the database. First, we need to create a reference for our data. So Firebase, we're going to create a variable called Firebase reference, or whatever you want to call it, and that is Firebase database.reference. So we're going to name the reference emails, for example. Emails. Now I'm going to call that reference and push the data in it. I'm going to push the email. That's it. So I'm going to explain a little bit. So we have an input and a button. So when the user clicks the send button, we're going to grab the input from the input tag. We're going to take the value of it and store it in the database. So I'm going to save that and go back to the browser. I'm going to split the screen so we can see real time with the database. So I'm going to go to real-time database, and here we go. So here it is, our database, and here is the input and the button. So I'm gonna give it the email and click send. As you can see, here's the email stored successfully in our database. So here we used the push method. So the push method is gonna generate a random key in our data. So if we use the set method, there is another method called set here. Set. If we use that, we're going to store the data directly to the reference that we just created. So there is a difference. You're going to see the difference. So I'm going to paste that, send. So as you can see, we stored the data of the email directly to that reference, but the push method is going to create a random key under that reference and put the data in it. So here it is. So I'm gonna create like a refresh email, another email, another email. So we have a list of emails stored in our data. Okay, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you do, give it a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.